What's up everyone, welcome back, and today I'm just going to be reading you a little story from my Dartmoor Myths and Legends book. But before we get into it, hit that like, smash that subscribe, and let's roll that intro. Now this story is probably the most famous or well-known myth and legend of Dartmoor. And you've probably heard it before, growing up, or maybe not. So, let's begin. The road between Postbridge and Princetown, particularly the section by Cherry Brook Bridge and the former black powder factory of Powder Mills, is said to be haunted by an evil presence which manifests itself as a pair of huge and hairy hands. Reports of this phenomenon are surprisingly recent, dating only from the 1920s. In 1921, Dr. Helby, the Princetown prison doctor, was thrown from his motorcycle near Powder Mills and died from a broken neck. However, the two small girls in the machine's sidecar were thrown onto the verge and shaken, but little hurt. This tragic accident was related to Devon folklorist Theo Brown by Mrs. Battiscombe, the widow of Helby's successor. Further incidents occurred, including one in which a charabanc suddenly left the road and ran into a ditch. Fortunately, neither the driver nor the passengers were injured. Mrs. Battiscombe went on to describe a further motorcycle accident on the same stretch of road, in which the young rider returned to his lodgings, very white and shaken, and saying he had the most curious experience. He is reported to have said he felt his hands gripped by two rough and hairy hands, and every effort made to throw him off his machine. The Daily Mail got hold of these stories in the autumn of 1921 and sent down reporters to investigate. This provoked a lively correspondence in the press, in which thought forms, elementals, and vengeful prehistoric inhabitants loomed large. Publicity reached such a pitch that the authorities felt impelled to investigate the road and find a rational explanation for these accidents. They declared the camber of the road was at fault and repaired it. Theo Brown went on to relate how, a few years later, when she was still a child, she stayed with her family in a caravan near Powder Mills, close to the haunted road. She enjoyed the fine weather and playing with the farm children and their boat in the Cherry Brook, unaware until years later of her mother's terrifying experience. One night, Theo's mother woke suddenly with a deep sense of malaise, convinced she had seen the hairy hand crawling its way up the caravan window to attack her sleeping husband. However, the hairy hand retreated after she made the sign of the cross and prayed. Even after, she refused to walk that part of the moor alone. Since then, there have been no further reports of the hairy hands. So that was probably the first Dartmoor myth, tale, legend, whatever you want to call it, that I ever heard as a kid. And I never really read the story. I've always just been told it by other people. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And I'm hoping to get a few more stories out this year, because I've got 3 books of Dartmoor myths and legends that I want to read and share, I guess. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.